lighting in here is type crazy. I don't know what's going on. Hi guys. If I look like a fucking bat out of hell, that's because I'm a fucking bat out of hell. Long time no see. I know I've been MIA. Do not look at my shirt. I'm throwing that shirt out because it's an atrocity. Are you fucking for real? I can't have anything. I like actually cannot have anything, so please ignore the state of my shirt. If it's not my hair, it's my shirt. I can't fucking get a break. If I'm looking down, it's because I am in the middle of something. Yes, long time no see. Pardon my absence. There is a very valid reason. As you can tell, I have moved again. Basically, I've had to put all my attention to mainly two things. Securing a safe place to live where I'm wanted, important, and some physical health issue things, surgery coming up. We'll talk about that in another video, but yes, I did move, so all of my attention has gone into just doing this whole thing, and I'm paying rent and stuff like that, so I'm adulting and whatever. It's come at a cost, not just monetarily, bitch. Whew, I'm fucking out here. Now that I'm more so settled, hopefully I can get back into the swing of things, but that is not what this video is about. We all know what this video is about. Obviously this video is a bit more on the niche side of things, but I'm assuming that if you've clicked this video, you know what the fuck chat.xo is. I mean, we'll get into it eventually, but there's definitely a couple things I need to get out of the way first. I would like to start by saying I'm having a very hard time recording this, obviously. I feel like I'm never gonna get it right. I'm never going to really get my point across in the way that I want to. I'm having a really hard time articulating everything because there's just so much that goes into it, but at the same time it's very simple to me. The older I get, the more difficult it is for me to have to explain myself. But I'm gonna try my best, so please take that into consideration that this is not easy for me to talk about, and it also makes me extremely uncomfortable. So I'm gonna do my best for the gang. I am indeed terminating chat.xo. In short, the reasons why I'm deleting chat.xo are because I feel like I've grown out of the server. I feel like I let too many hands into the cookie jar over time, which kind of watered down the vision that I had for chat.xo. It really just got out of hand, essentially, and I wasn't proud of the product. It no longer was an XO product. It was I just didn't like what was going on in there. There was always something negative to do with it. I would wake up every day and there'd be something negative going on. I completely forfeited my right as a leader in that world. It just got very cliquish, and in the end, I was being blamed for the things going on in a server that I myself wasn't even present in. I kind of fell back because I didn't want to lose the love that I had for at least the original idea of why I made the server. I just was very uncomfortable, and I couldn't do anything about it, to be honest with you, without coming across as like a fucking dictator or a bitch. I'm going to be explaining more in this video, so if you want to know more specifically what's been going on and how I feel, stick around for the following explanations. I hope that it's not too fucking convoluted. I hope that I can have you guys kind of follow me along as I explain how I've come to the conclusions that I've come to and how I've gotten to where I am now. Bitch. On top of my obvious discontentment for some things that have happened, I'm also looking towards myself, which was one of like the largest factors in me making the choices that I've been making. I want to openly take accountability for my part in chat.xo. I don't want this to come across as though I'm just shifting the blame onto everyone else. I'm simply just explaining and kind of pointing out the things that I feel like influenced me in a negative way, which then made me a worse version of myself and act out of character and things like that. Not to mention I'm a completely different person than I was when I started chat.xo. I'm really not mad at anybody. I don't want people to think like that I'm blaming them for the failure of the server in its entirety. We all had a active part in the good and the bad, the fucking ugly. Shouts out all the uglies. We're gonna get more into things specifically, but I just really want to make it known that I too was not the best behaved, and I have taken away a lot of lessons. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Why the fuck am I deleting chat.xo? I feel like that's the main question, is like, what the fuck happened? I definitely am about to like mansplain the fuck out of chat.xo and like its lore, so hope you guys will enjoy that. We're gonna dial it way the fuck back, way back, motherfucker, to my childhood. My entire childhood, I was a part of a community. I was very privileged and very blessed in that way. Like, my family was definitely a tribe. Me growing up in an environment so enriching, I always kind of tried to find that elsewhere, and I couldn't. And because I couldn't exactly find that elsewhere, I would try to create that myself. I would try to bring the things that I learned that worked into new situations, genuinely wanting to give people the love, acceptance, attention, all the good things that came with like my upbringing, give it to them, because I saw the way that the world was operating and I was like, that's not working, and I think I know why, because everybody was just lacking a village. Everybody was lacking familial support, friendship support, love in general. What the fuck does that have to do with chat.xo? I mean, fucking everything. And I quote, "Chat.xo was created with the intentions of developing a long-term, tight-knit community of trustworthy and like-minded individuals." Which for the most part did happen. Yes, we're gonna talk about the catastrophes of chat.xo, and I can't negate the negative, because essentially that's why this is coming to a close. But for the most part, chat.xo was a tight-knit community of like-minded individuals. It served its purpose for a decent amount of time. This is where, retrospectively, I am sitting. I want people to take into consideration who I was at the start of chat.xo. I feel like that gives good insight as to what inevitably happened to the server. When I created chat.xo, I was the most unlike myself that I've ever been in my life. I was the most traumatized, and I was coming out of the darkest, worst headspace I have ever been in, and I was at my breaking point. I was completely at my breaking point. I had lost all sense of self and self-worth. I was so desperate for a community, for genuine bonds, and just somewhere to go to feel safe. I was kind of hopping and skipping and jumping from community to community, and if you know anything about me, bitch, you know that I have found myself in the world's most toxic communities, and it affects everybody who goes near it, you know what I mean? I was completely, absolutely not immune to the fucking craze. I was identifying with the qualities that made me more so entertaining rather than protecting my peace. So I was kind of a hot mess for a long time. I don't resonate with that part of my history. I don't resonate with a lot of my history, you know what I mean? But as a 25-year-old sitting here, I'm like, yeah, that was really sad, honestly. There's always good times in the bad times, but I look back and I'm like, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. I think it got worse the more I was isolated. Even the years leading up to me leaving New Jersey, I was kind of in the wrong crowd for me. And then I moved from New Jersey, which ripped me away from everything and everyone that I've ever known. And then, you know, I moved across the country and it was even worse. And it's just like, the more that I distanced myself from my roots, the worse my life became. The worse of a person I became. And it's shameful. I'm extremely ashamed. I'm devastated about it. Fast forward to me being an adult and in my early 20s, and I'm at my breaking point because I have completely lost what it meant to be me. I hated my life, and I really needed support and love. And I had a lot of love to give. I've always had a lot of love to give. I still currently have a lot of love to give. Please don't forget that about me. I have a lot of love to give, and that is the fucking point of all this. So, chat.xo was born. When I made chat.xo, because I was so degenerated, I was so deteriorated as a person, I was nothing but an open fucking book. Man, I just wore my heart on my sleeve. I continuously bared my soul in an attempt to build rapport to essentially thousands of strangers, thinking that I could make friends out of that situation. completely not understanding that that's already uneven terrain and very, very hard to make genuine friendships out of. How the fuck does a person in my position make friends with people who have been watching their every fucking move for nearly a decade, literally? I mean, it was like, what, we're at the 7+ years at that point, and I thought, like, they've known me all these years, that should be a good thing. They are the same people that have attached themselves to parts of my history that I don't even fucking remember. It's just not natural. The whole parasocial thing, becoming friends with people who have known me for so long and so intently, watching my every move for fucking years, it's hard to navigate that. I didn't realize how hard it was until I just continuously experienced it, and the negative things that come with trying to befriend people in that kind of predicament. It's not that these people are inherently bad people, per se, it's just the circumstances were not in my favor. And me being at such a low point and me desperately wanting to be friends with people, I was just becoming friends with fucking everybody, you know, in my head. The more the merrier, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to fucking really know you. You're getting admin and you're getting admin and we're all a happy family. That's what I wanted, and I definitely had a tendency always to take things at face value. I saw the good in everybody, and I always prided myself on being able to hang out with everyone, but I shouldn't. Definitely sound like a broken record at this point, but if I do not share the same core fundamental values with a motherfucker, I should not know them. We're gonna kind of bounce between negatives and positives, because I'm just a little bit scatterbrained. Some objective negatives here about chat.xo. We all know that it had its fair share of catastrophes. I know what people want me to talk about. I know what people want me to address, that of which I am obviously not going to. I don't want to give certain things airtime. If you know anything about me, even the motherfuckers who don't like me know that it's always water under the bridge. I always forgive motherfuckers. I know what it feels like to not be forgiven. I know what it feels like to be given a hard time. If you're sitting here and you're someone that's like, I got into a fight with Maya real bad one time in chat.xo. Bitch, I don't care. It's okay. Again, water under the bridge. I don't want the smoke. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not making the new server because I'm mad at someone. I'm not making the server because there was a falling out. I know that people want me to sit here and bring up so-and-so and they did what now? And oh my god. Yes, we all know that there were terrible things that happened within the confines of that server. Just a lot of shit, okay? It's been a lot of shit. It is true that I shed many tears in chat.xo, VC, or encouraged to be poorly behaved as much as I've been when I'm in chat.xo. I've been extremely misunderstood. I feel like I've been left out of my own server many times. I've been blamed because of other people and what they do in chat.xo. I've had to face repercussion after repercussion after repercussion because chat.xo is technically mine. Just to name a few things. It's been hard, and I also had no one to turn to. Like, I don't hang out with anybody in my field of work, period. I don't know other artists. I don't know other people who fucking have Discord servers. I don't fucking know. I had no one to turn to. I had no role model. I had no one to ask for help or advice. I literally was figuring this out on my own as time went on. Epic fail after motherfucking epic fail, all whilst I was already in a bad headspace. I was struggling to fucking find my own footing in my life in general, and I was facing extreme amounts of fucked up shit. Like, I mean, we all have fucking problems, but like, the beginning years of chat.xo, I lost multiple family members. I lost multiple pets. There was things going on in my private life, in my family, with my health, with their health. It was just a lot to handle and really have no one to turn to and have to put on a brave face and be the fucking matriarch and not collapse under the fucking pressure. Maintain everybody's emotions, maintain everybody's, all the inner workings of everyone's relationships in chat.xo and the politics of chat.xo and making sure that everybody's on their best behavior, and they never fucking were, and it was a lot. And then, you know, trying to find the balance between I'm an entertainer, I am an artist, but I'm also a human being who wants friends, and I don't want people to be fake towards me just to make me like them. It was just a constant battle to find my fucking footing. That being said, some of the literal best moments of my life were spent in chat.xo. It was a fucking blast. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but at the end of the day, like, chat.xo is supposed to be like my den, you know what I mean? Like my cave. Of course, it's for everybody, all the people who fuck with me and my message and resonate with whatever the fuck I be preaching and shit. But at the end of the day, .xo, that has to do with me. So, you know, when my heart was in it, I felt like I was kind of the glue, that kept the whole thing together, that made it XO-ify, that made it chat.xo. I loved my experience in chat.xo. When it was good, it was fucking great. When it was bad, it was almost not worth it. But the good times were amazing. I've learned so many life lessons. Something that's very important for me is I learned my boundaries. I was able to come out of this knowing what makes me uncomfortable and kind of setting my boundaries in place, knowing my level of comfortability in things. That's really important. I was kind of lacking in that department because of my constant tendency to be overtly vulnerable to an unhealthy extent. The fuck did I just hear? That was scary. A lot has been solidified for me, and that's an amazing silver lining to this whole fucking disaster. Lessons that I took away from chat.xo that kind of slapped me in the face about my own character. I'm definitely gonna make separate videos about certain things, like my tendency to kind of be overtly vulnerable. Trauma dumping, maybe, if you want to call it that. Having a big mouth. I totally glossed over this very important thing. And I know the quality's doo-doo. Oops. The fuck? I know the quality's doo-doo. Okay, fuck. But what I want to say really quickly is I also treated chat.xo like it was a singular person. Like everyone in VC would just be one person. And I'd be telling people my fucking business, acting like this was like one singular vessel. When in reality it was a bunch of fucking separate people. Durr, Maya. That's not good or healthy because they would attach themselves to different parts of what I would say and then form judgments off of that, form opinions off of that. So that's not good. It's not good to let the entire world in on your fucking business when you are in strife. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, you know that I am definitely a product of my environment behaviorally. You absolutely cannot influence my aesthetic. You cannot influence my personality. I am I until the fucking cows come home. You know, my opinions can be changed with facts, obviously, because I'm not fucking irrational. But what I am a little bit more malleable in is, what I learned at boarding school is behaviorally. You know, being on my best behavior, I am known to shenanigate the fuck out. I be shenanigating. You know what I mean? Like, I used to love being a little goofy, silly motherfucker, getting myself in trouble, talking shit, like being as though motherfuckers in chat.xo knew me, a lot of them knew me as that kind of person. That shit would happen at my expense, at the expense of my mental health. That was something that I also took away that I really needed to see about myself. I was getting too old for the shenanigans. Continuing in the realm of like friendships and shit with chat.xo, I mean, it's very, very hard to make it like a simple like, so this is what happened and this is how I feel about it, because it's just so multifaceted and every situation is different. But statistically, I was meeting a large quantity of people in rapid succession, which then made the turnover rate appear higher and or it looked bad. Let's say in layman's terms, it looked bad. Like, oh, there goes another one bites the dust. But if we look at it statistically speaking, running it through the algorithms, motherfucker.
He's saving it for me. He running it through the algorithms.
It really wasn't so drama. Something else that I experienced was people expecting things from me. Like they would join, they'd have an expectation of me, so it always felt like I kind of had to fit what everybody else wanted me to be, do what everybody wanted me to do. That always made me really nervous and made me act weird, I feel like, because I barely had control of myself and felt good about myself, and then there was just a bunch of eyes on me all the time and like people expecting things out of me and, you know, putting me in this weird category where like I'm Maya. You know, I was never just like a friend. It was like I'm Maya. So like I was kind of on the outside looking in a lot, and I felt like a misfit in my own community, like because I was top dog, like I was often left out of a lot of things. I didn't do myself any favors either, which is really, really painful and sad. I felt like I made a bad impression of myself many times.
And you are a disrespectful piece of shit.
There was definitely a point where I woke up after certain things that happened where I was like, wow, this server's fucked. It's fucked. It's beyond repair. My heart was completely not in it. I completely fell out of love with the server. I really didn't resonate with what was going on in the server. I just grew up and away from shit. I mean, there was shit that I just never resonated with in the fucking first place that was going down in chat.xo. It lost its chat.xo exo spark. The things that really rubbed me the wrong way was the constant abuse of power. I would give someone an important role to protect over the server when I couldn't, and it was abused time and time again. People would join the server and they were fucking bullied and harassed. This would happen always. It was like a 99% chance that a mod was going to be a cunt to a new person, or their patience was short. Like, they were just mean. And if I wasn't being mean, I'm like, then who the fuck do these people think they are, essentially? I mean, that might sound harsh, but it's like, you're making me look so fucking bad, and I'm not acting that way, so what gives you the right to be mean to these people who literally just have no fucking idea what's going on? They just joined a server that's extremely confusing. By that point, it was like, I can't take away people's mods because they're all fucking, like, friends, and they're friends of mine. And then I'm mixing, like, business and, like, personal relationships. It was, I don't know how to navigate that. I don't fucking know. I still don't know, which is why I'm doing without it completely. And, like, I'm not mad at my mods and my admins for them behaving that way. It's just, like, it puts me in a weird spot time and time again. I'll bring up this instance, which might be petty, but is a good example, and this is the only specific instance I'm going to give in this entire video. So there was a girl that joined that was a follower of mine that I recognize, someone that I feel comfortable, you know, like when they're in my chat, I like to acknowledge them, I appreciate them very much. I told her to join. I told her to fucking join. So she joins, and immediately she is bullied by the fucking lot of chat.xo. Not just my mods, but a bunch of other people too, just giving this girl a hard time. She's neurodivergent, okay? And okay, maybe she didn't understand the rules. Oh my god, but she didn't have fucking bad intentions. She's just, first of all, she's different, and she needed a little bit more fucking help and just to be explained shit. Like, seriously? And then I'm not around, because I'm out here living my fucking real life too, guys. Chat.xo, as much as it was a large part of my life, it wasn't my entire life. Why do I need to say that? Anyway, I ended up getting messages from this girl's real life loved one showing me what happened and saying that this girl is like, I'm not gonna fucking air her shit out, but like, was in a really, we'll leave it at a really bad headspace. Think about worst case scenario, because she was just fucking bullied to shit in fucking chat.xo. And I have to answer to that, because everybody else was nasty towards her. I have to answer to that. So then I had to report back to all my motherfuckers and be like, why did you guys do that? It was exhausting. It was fucking exhausting. It was heartbreaking. And look, I'm not always the fucking sweetest sweetheart on God's green earth. We all know that. But my God. Okay, you have a bad day. But do we have to fucking be that way all the time? I should make that very clear that it wasn't just my mods. It was a total fucking attitude of like everybody in there. And I did not like that. I did not like that. So there's an example. It was hard to have to then reprimand my friends and my support system for how they treat each other. Constantly. There's always something. And then I'm like trusting one motherfucker, and then I'm not trusting the other motherfucker, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm around motherfuckers who like, you know, they get me hyped up, and then like maybe I'm doing something out of character. Messy. I would wake up every morning and there would be some catastrophic fucking whatever that occurred. So-and-so fought, and this person's banned, and this person got whatever, da-da-da-da. Who the fuck do I appoint to fix that? Who the fuck can I trust? I don't know who to trust, even as a friend, let alone in a position of power. And I'm so fucking dumb, I'm like, you get modded, they get admin. I knew these people for like maybe a month, and then I gave them, that's my fault in it, that's my fault in it. You know what I mean? Like, I should have been more careful. And trust me, I learned. Again, I'm not mad at anybody. Sorry if I came across as aggressive when you bitches know me. But it was just like, really, like, you know what I mean? That is a reason as to why I grew away from chat.xo. I could not fucking deal with you motherfuckers. I could barely deal with my own shit. My own trouble that I get myself into. I don't need y'all fucking getting me into more trouble than I already do for myself. The fuck? You guys are supposed to make my life easier. Also, another very large part of me truly wanting to not be a part of the chat.xo community is there was motherfuckers in there that me and my real life people weren't comfortable around. I don't owe anyone really any explanation when it comes to anything like that. I just wasn't comfortable. I'm not here to talk shit about anybody. I'm not here to put anybody down. But I'm also allowed to exercise my right to be comfortable. And I felt like I couldn't do that in chat.xo. I'm going to do what's going to make my life more fulfilling and a safer space for me. Therefore, I can be a better me for everyone else. I need to be comfortable in order to be the best version of myself. I need to feel good in order to be good. During the meetup, which I guess this is very valid too, please don't think that anything bad happened during the meetup. I know motherfuckers are gonna like make little conspiracies like, oh, there must have been something bad that happened during the meetup. I have felt this way for the better part of a year, okay? I had intentions on deleting chat.xo before the meetup, and I did. I sat the girls down and I told them in person, you know, how I felt, and they all agreed with me. And we just had a really open, healthy discourse about my ideas and where I want to go from here, and I listened to all their complaints in order for me to avoid those kinds of things moving here on out, which is also important. That's an extremely large factor, that it's not just me that had problems with chat.xo. The people who had stuck around the longest had problems with the dynamic, the broken dynamic, I should say. And motherfuckers had shit to say too. So I listened. That leads me into my next point. I found, after talking with my friends, that the best course of action is to close chat.xo and create an environment, another server that has a lot more control to it, in order to avoid all the things that people didn't like about chat.xo. All the things I didn't like about chat.xo. We live and we learn, motherfucker. We live and we learn. So I did start, as a lot of you guys probably know by now, an invite-only server. Does that seem very dictator.xo? Yes. Do I like having that reputation? No. But something needed to give and something needed to change. This is the best way I know how. This is the best way that we've all talked about, and unanimously, we have agreed that this is the best course of action. After this video is posted and is live, it will no longer be an invite-only server, but it will be, I don't know the best way to say this, but like accepted by Maya server. So like you can attempt at joining, but you will not be able to access the server's functions in its entirety until you do your user key, which if you're familiar with chat.xo, you know what that is. And I also have to want you in there. I am taking the matriarch role once more, rising from the motherfucking ashes, and I am gonna be the one to let motherfuckers in if I fucking want them there. So, sorry if that makes me a cunt. Sorry if you feel left out. I genuinely am sorry if you feel left out. I'm getting a little aggressive here again. As I do. I'm gonna slowly kind of let people in, give motherfuckers a chance. I'm going to regularly be pruning the server, which means like if you are not active, you'll be kicked. And if the gang doesn't behave, then we can cross that bridge when we fucking get to it. And if I don't behave, y'all can fucking yell at me, okay? An XO hangout spot for the girls with a Z. The boys can be in there too, but the girls who get it and who are living the XO fucking life, abiding by the XO way, and the XO family and the XOXO girls can reign on, continue the legacy. I'm excited, I'm proud. XO love is going to be an extension of myself. I hope to God everything is okay, period. Last but not least, I would like to thank everybody who made chat.xo possible and what it was. I want to thank everybody who gave me such amazing memories that I will never forget. I will never ever forget the fun that I had with, you know, VC and the good times, because they were genuinely good times. I'm gonna make sure that I stay on top of, you know, things in this next era. I don't want my discontentment to distract anybody, even myself, from how thankful I am that we can even sit here and talk about a community like this, because it wasn't meant to be some large community, and the fact that it was the size that it was, and the fact that it was so impactful and motherfuckers went on every day. Chat.xo is an everyday thing, girl.
And now I'm fat and ugly and gross and old.
I'll leave the link down below. If you don't get in right away, that's because I'm sure there's gonna be like a lot of people trying to get in, and I need to just make sure that everybody's has good intentions and doing what they gotta do and just making sure everybody's okay. So please give me some time to do that. For any of the questions I did not answer in this video, it probably means I don't want to fucking talk about it, and or I just don't find it important or valid or whatever. All the love in the world. Thank you guys so much. Shouts out to all my patrons. I really need your help right now because I'm paying rent and everything's so expensive in New Jersey. Please help me, God. And I do have a new song coming out. I just have to get all my ducks in a row and update videos on my voice coming soon. I'm gonna need motherfucking surgery, bitch. So haha hee hee. I'll see you guys around. Bye.